Gluten-free products, dry ingredients made easy. Hi, I'm Bron. Welcome to believeitsnotgluten.com. When you're gluten-free, you usually have to cook a lot of your own food, either because you really need to know exactly what's in it, or because you can't get commercially prepared food that you want. This isn't a bad thing, at least you know what's going into your food and there are no preservatives, etc. But you do want to make things as easy as you can. However, if you've looked at our recipes, you've probably been put off with the number of dry ingredients. It really does seem over the top and maybe more trouble than it's worth. But let me assure you, it is most definitely worth it, and here are some tips to help manage all those ingredients. At least there's one good thing: you don't need a lot of appliances. For 90% of our recipes, you only need digital scales, an electric hand beater, and a stick blender with a small food processor. If you have bigger appliances, that's all the better, but you don't need them for most things. So tip number 1, keep all your dry ingredients together in your cupboard and just grab the whole lot at once when you're cooking. If you keep them in the plastic bags they come in or in Ziploc bags, then keep them all together in a plastic box, so you just have to grab the box when you're going to cook, or else grab all your jars or containers together. It's really tedious following a long recipe with 150 grams of this and 3 spoons of that and half a spoon of something else. So you don't want to make it worse by running around your kitchen, diving in and out of your cupboards. So just keep everything together and bring it all out at once. Tip number 2, make your own cake mixes. Once you know you like a recipe, and we'll make it again, make up 2 or 3 lots of the dry ingredients at once and store them in Ziploc bags. Then you will have your own cake mixes or cookie mixes or pancake mixes to use later. This is the best way to save heaps of effort. If you can just grab a cake mix from the cupboard and the few other ingredients you need, then the cooking is a breeze. There are a few things to watch out for though if you're going to do this. The biggest trap is forgetting what you've already put in each bag, or getting distracted and then having no idea what you've already done. So you really need a system. I find it best to start with the ingredients on the left of the bench, then once I've added them to each bag, put them over on the right. Then I don't get confused about what I have or haven't done. I start with the ingredients I need to weigh first, maybe the flour and sugar. Then line the bags up and work with the other ingredients bit by bit. Just don't let anything distract you until you've put the baking powder or whatever it is you're measuring in every bag. Otherwise you'll come back and have no idea what you're up to, and then you really have to throw them all out because you have no way of knowing whether one mix will have no baking powder and the other's got double. Another option is to make a couple of extra dry ingredient mixes when you're actually making a recipe. So measure 1 lot of dry ingredients into your bowl for what you're cooking right now, and then measure a couple more lots into bags. It will take a bit longer, but it will be worth it. The next 2 times you'll have your cake mix or pancake mix all ready to go. If you have spare time, it can also be great to stock your pantry with all kinds of packet mixes of things you plan to make in the next couple of months. Definitely get the family involved if you're going to do this: someone to read, someone to measure, and someone to label the bags. Tip number 3, don't leave lumps in your dry ingredients. Generally there's no need to sift your dry ingredients with gluten-free cooking, as the flours don't get lumps in them. Usually just mixing your ingredients together with a spoon and then a quick whisk will be all you need. However, there are 2 things that do tend to get lumpy and you need to get these lumps out. One is baking soda. This is usually easy. You can just squash the lumps out with the back of your measuring spoon before you measure it. The main problem ingredient is cocoa. Nothing will be right if you try to bake things with cocoa lumps. You really do have to get them out. They don't just dissolve when you mix them with other ingredients. Now with some brands the lumps are quite soft and you can just use a spoon and squash them out. But with other brands it seems the lumps are harder and you may have to use a food processor. Either process it in your blender by itself or just measure all your dry ingredients in together and then process them all together and the lumps will be sifted out. Otherwise you can squash the cocoa through a sieve. Just put a sieve over your bowl, get a spoon and squash it through. So hopefully that will help you manage our long list of dry ingredients. As I said, you'll find it's more than worth the effort it takes. If this is helpful, we would really appreciate a thumbs up and any comments or questions below. Thanks again for watching and hope to see you on the blog. Believe it,